You know, ladies and gentlemen, there are felonies and there are misdemeanors. On January 6th, if you were violent and you attacked a cop, that's a felony and you should go to jail, okay? No question in my mind about it. You attack a cop, you go to jail. But if you're somebody who happens to wander in the building because you're being waved in by some of the Capitol Police, and that's what happened on the other side of the Capitol building. A lot of people were being waved in. They figure we'll wave them in and then wave them out. Should they be prosecuted too? And by the way, those were misdemeanors. Those were trespassing. They were not based on, you know, felony assault or felony burglary or anything of that sort. These are people who wandered through. Misdemeanors. But they threw the book at every one of them. Every single one of them. They didn't make distinctions in any effective way. This is what has so many people upset. And then the U.S. attorney for that area said, before they lost the election, we're also going to go after the people who are on the lawn of the Capitol building. On the lawn? These are the same people that won't go after Antifa. These are the same people that don't go after the River to the Sea crowd when they're violent. I mean, come on. So let's take a look at this. This is from June 2nd, 2023. This is a little over 2 years ago, where James Comey is treated like a conquering hero of sorts, like a civil libertarian. Crazy, isn't it? So here you have an interview by one of the biggest liars in world history, Psaki, who covered up for Biden. Dishonest, dishonorable, immoral, covered up for Biden. And then you have one of the most evil saboteurs, abusers of power in American history, Comey. And she interviews him on one of the worst, corrupt, poisonous networks in America, MSNBC. A little over 2 years ago, before this man was arraigned. Go.
Do you agree with the strategy of focusing on the Oath Keepers and focusing on prosecuting that group of individuals first in order for it to be a deterrent?
You've got to throw the net wide, get all of them, both the organized groups, Proud Boys, Oath Keepers, but find everybody who went into that building. Find them all. Again, not because of my concern that those people who committed a misdemeanor are they're going to go into the community and reoffend. The message has to be sent of zero tolerance.
You understand? You understand? She brings up the violent, you know, people who were there. He's saying, no, you have to go after all of them. Anybody who was in the building, even the misdemeanors. Misdemeanors, you know, like jaywalking, trespassing, that sort of stuff. Get them all. Get them all. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if they were waved in. Doesn't matter if they were roaming around. Get them all. Is this what we do to people who interrupt committee hearings? Code pink? Or people who take over the main hall areas, the main areas of the Capitol building? J Street and groups like that? No. But here we got to send a message, you see. Go ahead.
We will find everyone and punish everyone who went in there so that no one does it again. We will hunt you to the end of the earth, even for a misdemeanor, and make you pay for that to send that message.
Good. Good. And now you've been hunted to the end of the earth. Wasn't hard. In your plush office in Washington, D.C., and now you've been charged. Whether it stands or not, I'm glad you're charged. Because the truth of the matter is he's committed many offenses, in my opinion, that's just my opinion, including among those that I discussed with you. And he's committed acts of massive abuses of power that may not even be criminal, may not have the elements of a specific crime, because remember, these criminal codes are written by legislatures and written by Congress. So they don't necessarily imagine every potential violation, like this guy. Like this guy. Okay, I want to move into another area of Democrat Party revolution. This whole thing with ICE, as I've explained, and I want to reiterate and underscore here, you have Democrat mayors and governors who are much like the old Confederates. You're talking about breakaway cities and breakaway states when it comes to enforcing the law. They don't like a given law, they nullify it. Local cops aren't going to work with the feds, and the feds must not come in to enforce federal law. That's been constitutionally enacted. So what are these? These are little fiefdoms they're creating, like the third world, you know, they have little, they have tribes, or they have sort of these different type of regions that they control. Well, that's what's happening here. That's why I call them the new Democrat Confederacy. And I'm very pleased that some other people are picking up on this. We got to push this. The nullification of our immigration laws, first with the import of tens of millions of people, and now with the effort to prevent their deportation. The promotion of violence. You don't have to say, go out there and kill people, go out there and attack ICE. You just characterize ICE as the enemy, characterize ICE as Gestapo, as Nazi. You characterize Trump as an authoritarian, as an oligarch. You characterize what they're doing as a violation of human rights and so forth and so on, and you're sending a message. And they know they're sending a message because it's working. You've got violent people rising up, illegal aliens and their other supporters. Now they put a hit out on the head of one of the regional ICE entities, a hit out, an illegal alien gang member. Put a hit out on him. You've got people using Molotov cocktails. You have guns being used. Suddenly they don't care about gun control. I mean, the president's trying to defend Portland. Remember the Portland federal courthouse was under attack month after month after month because the locals won't do it? And so you have what I call these breakaway cities and breakaway states. These little fiefdoms they're trying to create. This destroys our Constitution every bit as much as the old Confederacy tried. Every bit as much. They're nullifying federal immigration law passed by previous Congresses, signed into law by previous presidents. He's trying to enforce the deportation issue, and they won't let him. You have the mayor of Chicago who claims ICE-free zones. You're the mayor. You don't get to claim ICE-free zones. And so the President of the United States is not only defending our communities and our neighborhoods from criminals and illegal aliens and those who support them, he's now having to defend the Constitution itself and the Republic itself. That's what's going on here. Because if he fails, these Democrat strongholds are going to be able to be exactly that. Democrat strongholds that choose not to comply with federal law. Choose not to comply with the Constitution. You can't have that. You're one of a country. That's why the Democrat Party hates America. I wrote a book. They're very diabolical. We've got Marxists, Islamists who are huge in the party, who are represented in the party. You have this behavior, this defiance to sabotage our constitutional construct. They're power hungry because they want all the illegal aliens to stay so they can have many more congressional districts, and so their children, birthright citizenship, will vote Democrat. This is a power play. These Marxist revolutions are power plays. These Islamist revolutions are power plays. This is a power play. We have all the worst elements: Marxism, Islamism, and a Democrat Party that thinks it's the old Confederacy.
For all this and much more, sign up for Levin TV.